Well, hello. I'm Bob Moore, and I'm not trying to start a religion based on cats. She's a sweet kitty. But I'm overrun with them, and I can't afford to get them spayed or neutered. But I believe that my interpretation of what I read in the Bible was that God made this planet, He filled it with His plants, He filled it with His creatures, and then perhaps as an afterthought, He put people down here to help Him take care of creation. Well, that's what I got out of Moses' book of beginnings called Genesis. Edie, Edie. Edie. Here's Edie. Now, Eddie and I sit out here and talk. Eddie showed up. I've written about Eddie in some of my work. Eddie showed up down here one freezing Christmas morning. Someone had put him out, moved off, and left him. And all I had was some dog food that I'd found in a dumpster and was going to give to my poor neighbors. Eddie was starving to death. And I put out some dog food for him and some water before it would freeze. And I let him start eating it. I went ahead and started processing some scrap metal. Yeah, they're sick and I can't afford to take them to a vet. And I'm not going to have them put to sleep either, because He didn't put me here to have them killed. He put me here to do what I could. Alright, back to Eddie. You can tell his tail's been broken. Someone came over and stepped on it. And the way the problems he has, he's been this way for about 2 or 3 years now. If I didn't know better, I'd almost think someone kicked him in his rear end. But he's a survivor. He's a good cat, loves me, and I'll do what I can for him. I'll do what I can for every one of them. I don't let them in my house because, well, I just don't want cats in the house. I had a dog once. I lived with him, but I won't have another. Not in the house. So like I was saying about I'm not trying to make a religion out of cats. And here's Tuck's kitty. Tucks. Yes. Because Eddie probably got kicked in his rear end, he got damaged back there, and he has a problem with crust. No nice way to say it. He has a problem with crust. Well, Eddie and I have bonded, and we're friends, and I can talk to him. Here's one that just showed up one day. This one's called Crazy Kitty. Crazy Kitty! Tux, don't you do it. I mean it. They act like cats, and I have to come out here and do my best to make them act like people. Look at that one crouching, fixing it. You better not, Tux. You know better. You better go on. Crazy Kitty could take him any day, but Crazy Kitty's getting old. Crazy Kitty and Eddie have tied up a time or two. Crazy Kitty's got blue eyes. And sometimes I find Crazy Kitty 2 or 3 blocks away. They show up here because they know God put someone here that treats them like they live in His kingdom and upon His earth. And they act just like cats. They respect each other. They do their little posturing. But, you know, Eddie and I have really bonded, like I was saying. And I talk to him sometimes. And sometimes I feel like he talks to me. With all the wisdom of the animal world, and they can be pretty smart because, you know, they don't do what they do for money. They do it for life. So I asked him one day what mysteries could he tell me, Eddie, that I might understand why the world is in the shape it is in. And he spoke to me like an Oriental philosopher. He said, Master Bob, to show what is wrong with the world, my friend, first you must break the crust. This is Geist, named Ghost, in German, I guess. Geist has been sneezing since the day she was born. Her mother's name was Fierro. As soon as Geist was weaned, just about the same day, the very first day that this cat ever ate dry cat food, his mother walked out into the street and someone ran over her. I could understand that, but I didn't find her till 3 days later. It seems that 3 days earlier, I was watching TV in my dining room one night, and I heard something hit the house. Well, the next day I saw a spot out in the road. Fierro didn't come up. Fierro was named Fierro because Fierro means flame, and she had a little flame thing growing right there between her eyes. And after 3 days, I began to smell something, and I walked up to my house, and there was Fierro. Apparently, someone hit her and killed her out in the road. And I don't know whether they stopped or whether someone walked by. Someone thought it was really, really funny to pick up my cat, Fierro's mother, and throw it probably 20 feet up against the side of my house. Well, that's just beginning to break the crust.